I worked hard to build a routine that I'm proud of. Routine is safe, and for a guy like me who's constantly stressed, it makes life a little bit more predictable. You know exactly what's going to happen today, tomorrow, and the day after. There's a sort of freedom in schedule and structure. But when you live like this, there's going to come a time when your food starts to taste bland, and no matter how long you fiddle with the handle, the water temperature feels just a little bit off. When that feeling sets in and your mind begins to wander, where does it go? For me at least, it goes toward my dreams. How many dreams have you given up on? Or even worse, forgotten? Sometimes you get lucky. This is one I remembered from 15 years ago. Growing up, my media consumption was pretty limited by my dad. Instead of listening to Teenage Dream and Dynamite, I grew up listening to NPR and Beethoven's Fifth. Thankfully, I still watch Disney Channel and plenty of cartoons, but I also watch a decent amount of PBS, specifically this one show called
California's gold. Your house.
It would be through this show that I would learn about the Yosemite firefalls. Step 1. Book your ticket in advance. The firefall only happens for a couple weeks in February. Spots are limited, so book early. Step 2. Bring your gear. For my camera, the A7 III. Old, but still reliable. A telephoto is a necessity for close-up shots. This is the Sony 70-200 G Master. For my editing software, DaVinci Resolve. And my secret sauce for color grading? A little more on that later. Step 3. Take a quick hour-long flight to the Bay. Meet your friends at the airport. Probably get lost trying to find your rental car. Step 4. Come to the realization that you'll probably be living off sandwiches for the weekend and drive a couple of hours to the Airbnb. Step 5. Enjoy the park. This is Yosemite National Park. As you drive through, you'll be greeted by tall granite walls and stunning waterfalls. Due to the timing of the firefalls, a lot of the park is closed off. No problem though, we still had a lot of the park to explore.
Upwards, here we're in the valley, and like there's
After a short mile trek, we eventually settled down. We came early to grab good spots and set up my gear. As the crowds trickled in, so did my anticipation. I had doubts about whether or not I would be able to land a shot, and worried if the clouds would block the sun. But then I remembered, I had my secret sauce. Dehancer is a film emulation plugin that can take your footage from this to this with a few simple clicks. It's available for all major video editing softwares, and even now on iOS for easy editing on the go. With control over film grain inhalation, as well as access to over 60 film profiles, it's what I use to get the exact colors that I want. If you're interested in a 10% discount, use code BRNSYU. More information below. Armed with my secret sauce, and in a worst case scenario, I knew I could get a good shot of El Capitan. Thankfully, my doubts were wrong. Glue moved out of the way, and as the sun broke through, the water turned a yellow-orange, creating the spectacle that is the firefall. Only, I felt like something was missing. Call me ungrateful, but I felt that I could do better. Thankfully, we had one more day in the park. Placing my bets on day 2, we packed up and headed to the Airbnb. Having nothing better to do, we decided on day 2 to start bright and early and hike to Upper Yosemite Falls. Our estimated finish time? We'll see about that. With about 2,700 feet of elevation gain, each step called for a gasp of air, and plenty of stops were taken. Loose sand and rocky terrain made for slippery footing, but the views, much like the hike, were breathtaking. 3/4 of the way up, we hit snow and ice, but continued to trudge along with our chains. The top revealed a stunning view of Half Dome and a panoramic view of Yosemite Valley. But the craziest part of this hike wasn't how long it took or how exhausted we were. It was the fact that Yosemite Creek, a seemingly calm body of water, fed into such a huge waterfall. Maybe there's something to be learned from that. Oh, and our estimated time? Total time spent up there was 8 hours. As we hurried toward the lookout point, a gloom seemed to set in. We waited and waited, but the clouds obstructed the sun, and people began leaving. The firefalls didn't come that day. As I walked back, I fought back feelings of disappointment. It felt like I had failed in capturing the firefall in all its glory. But I also thought back to a conversation that I had with my friend as we were walking back the night before. See, the firefalls happened during the span of a little over 2 weeks. So much had to happen so that this trip could come true. Reservations had to be made,
Can we get a demo?
people had to be free, and the weather had to be just right. How crazy is it that 15 years later, during one sunset, I had brought to life a dream that I had when I was a little kid? How crazy is it that people traveled from all over the world just to witness this? How special is it that I get to share the same dream with so many other people? So, while my firefall experience may not have been as dramatic as I had hoped, I think I'm beginning to understand that a lot of the joy of chasing your dreams isn't actually when it comes true. The beauty of it is in the process of who you become while you're chasing your dreams. A big cliche, but a beautiful journey just makes the ending so much sweeter. This was just one of my dreams, and I have a lot more to share. Thank you for watching.